Hey again, YouTubers. It's Brank here, Brank BDO, Black Desert Online, with another guide about what I like to do when I'm not cooking. I have had a few guides now about cooking, and this is one of the things that I'll do when I'm not cooking. And it's pretty good for making money, and it's trade runs. So, what trade runs are in this game, and please forgive me, I'm not an expert on trade runs. I don't have spreadsheets all over my computer documenting exactly what trade runs are the best to do here and there. I just do it when I'm not cooking or when I'm not out adventuring or hanging out with my friends in the game. So, this is just a basic tutorial on how trade runs work in the game and how to do your basic trading. So, the first things you want to do when you're getting ready to do trade runs is make sure you have kind of uh, a node unlock in the area that you're in. And what I mean by that is if you look at your map, if you have nodes unlocked near the town that you're in. Right now I'm in Velia. If I have nodes, right, that are connected, you see those yellow lines, that means those nodes are all connected. I can go to the Western Guard Camp, I got Tiscani Farm, I've got Balenose Forest, Heidel Pass, I got it connected all the way to Heidel. Basically, make sure you have at least some of the nodes in the area that you're in that you want to kind of start trading in unlocked. Obviously, the further away you can get from Calpheon, Glish, Medea, any of the new areas, if you have those connected, you're going to be able to get more money. But for the intents and purposes of this guide, we're just going to be going over kind of a small area to get you started on making trade runs. So make sure you have these nodes unlocked in the area. If you don't, make sure you also have some contribution points that you can maybe spend to unlock them when you do get there. Because what's going to happen is we're going to pick up an item and we're going to look for the best place to sell that item at. So we might not have that particular node unlocked, so we're going to need to use contribution points to unlock it. If we don't have it unlocked, we might have it unlocked. And usually I try to pick areas that I already have unlocked. That way I'm not using contribution points to unlock those nodes. So anyways, the first thing you want to do after you've kind of have a little bit of a node system set up out there is you're going to want to go to the stable keeper, stable master, whatever, in the town that you're in. For this video, we're going in Velia. That's where I have already actually have my horses and my wagon, but I'm going to show you what you need to buy. Basically, you're going to go to the stable keeper, and you can look in the shop at the stable keeper, and what you're going to want to get, my personal suggestion, is getting a farm wagon. It's 180,000 silver, which is quite a bit of silver, but it's worth it if you plan on doing any amount of trade runs. You'll make that money back fairly quickly, so it is worth it. What you notice on the farm wagon versus the other one is speed. There's a speed difference. Some of the other wagons are a little bit faster. Some of the wagons hold less or more. So it just depends on what you want to do. I prefer this farm wagon. It holds the most, and you can have two horses attached to it versus, I think, the shabby wagon, or maybe, no, the flimsy wagon, you can only have one horse attached at a time. I'm not sure about the shabby wagon, but it's all preference. If you want to be a little bit faster, hold a little bit less, what you want to do. Farm wagon's just kind of, for me, a good middle ground. It's a pretty decent wagon to get started in doing your trade routes. Now, you can get started with the flimsy wagon. The drawbacks to that is, basically the next step is you're going to want to pick up horses. So the drawback to only having one horse attached to your wagon at any one time is you're only able to level up that single horse. So if you're into horse breeding or any kind of, leveling your horse, it's, 2 times as fast to have 2 horses, or even on the bigger wagons, 4 horses attached at one time. So that's why I would suggest going with the farm wagon. Like I said, you could do it with whichever one you want to. Go ahead and pick up the farm wagon, register it at this guy. at the stable master, and then you're going to go to your stable. The next thing you want to get, or already have, maybe you already have, is some horses. Some people have horses. I think there's one you get in the beginning of the game through questing, which I think might have been this one that I have here, this tier 1. You can get higher tiered horses. You can buy them from the breeding market. You can buy just regular tier 1 horses from this guy. You can go out and tame horses. Whatever you want to do, get a couple of horses to attach to this wagon. You don't have to have horses to attach to the wagon. The wagon actually, when you take it out, has 2 basic horses on it. They're not actually, you can't unmount them or take them off the wagon, but you can ride around on the wagon without even attaching horses. But like I said in the previously, if you want to level horses, it's a much better way to attach horses to the wagon. So buy 2 horses, or use the wagon horses, whatever you want to do. But if you buy the 2 horses, what you're going to want to do is attach those horses. And how you do that is in the same window here, the bottom left button says connect wagon. What you're going to do is click that, right click your wagon, right click one of your horses, hit connect. Then it says connecting, right? Your horse is connected to that wagon. Do the same thing with your other horse. Right click the wagon, right click the horse, boom. I have my 2 horses connected, and when I bring this up again, you're going to see, actually I have to take it out. When I take it out, you're going to see my horses and my wagon appear. Oh my God, there's a lot of people here in town. So what you're going to want to do is, in this pile of sea of other people, jump on your wagon and then head to the town trader, which usually is right next to the stable keepers. Almost, I think every town I've been to, the trade manager is right next to him. So this is basically the 3rd or 4th step. You're going to have your wagon ready, go to the trade manager, and then you're going to want to interact with that trade manager with your wagon close enough. Your wagon has to be close enough. Interact with them, click the trade button, and look for an item that has a low market percentage. What that percentage means is that's what the market of that item is right now that the guy will sell it to you, or girl will sell it to you, right? So you notice on this bar previously it went up above that line is basically 100%. So it was actually above 100% for a short period of time. This item right here, this Bartali's Odd Adventure, actually has then gone back down, and now it's at 90%. Most of the time when you get started, 90% is going to be normal. 80% and below, if you look through the other items, like this one, the Velian Black Opal, 81%, are usually a much higher trade restriction. So anything that has a trade restriction on it, you don't, if you don't have a high enough trade skill yet, you won't be able to buy those items yet. But that's why we do trading, right? We want to get our trade skill higher so we can buy those cheaper market price items and sell them for, a much bigger profit than we're able to buy this stuff at 90%. So you want to look for an item that's probably a pretty good percent. 98, not very good. 101, really not good. There we go. There's an item. Because I think I'm Trade Apprentice 5 or 6 or something, I can buy this blue reagent for 80%, right, market value. And he's got 7 of them in stock. I can hold 14 items on my wagon right now. So what I normally do is I find the best item, like that one is probably about the best. I'm pretty sure it is because I've been here. I've done this a few times. So I'm going to click on Take. And I'm going to max out how many I'm going to take, which is 7. Put those down here. Then what I'm going to do is you're going to spend 1 energy doing this. And this is why I like this, because I can do this while I'm not cooking or anything else that uses energy. And it only really uses 1 energy whenever I buy an item. So I'm going to click the button that says market price. What that's going to do for me now is it's going to tell me it's going to spend 1 energy. It's going to bring up a list of places that are buying that item and what percentage they're buying them at. So I'm buying them at 80%, but if I go to this Logia farm, I can sell them at 120%. If I go to Olvia, I can sell them at 120%. The one thing that you got to keep in mind on this screen, scroll down. It does go down, and I didn't notice that at first. Somebody in the guild told me about that, and I was like, oh, God, there's probably places I've missed dropping this stuff off at, but it does scroll down. So make sure you scroll down and look through the list of places you can sell it at. Most of the time on these 80% items or 90% items, the highest you're going to get is probably going to be 120%. Every once in a while, you will notice a much higher markup if that town or place that you're dropping it off at is in really high demand. The other thing, besides scrolling, make sure you check the other areas. Right now, I'm in Baelnos, but I want to check the other areas to see if there's anything in Calpheon, Medea, to see if there's any other place that's buying this item for a higher markup value. The other thing to keep in mind is these areas, like Heidel City is buying it 120% right now. That's perfect because that's where I do my cooking out of. So I might want to actually do this trade run to Heidel. So I'm keeping these things in mind. I'm looking at these things, seeing if there's anything that's going to, any town or any place that's going to buy these at a really high markup. But it looks like 120% is about the best that I'm going to get. The other thing you got to keep in mind, these areas have to be unlocked. That's why the first thing we looked at was our node system and what nodes we had open. So I know I have Heidel open. Heidel's a main city, and I do have it connected between Velia. So I know I can trade to Heidel. I know I have the Western Guard Camp. I know I have Logia Farm unlocked. So I think for this one, I'm going to actually go ahead and go to Heidel. Because 120%, it's good markup. I can make decent money on that. So I'm going to then go ahead and hit purchase all. Actually, I think I have to go out of here. I have to hit return. And then you can hit purchase all and buy those items. The other thing you could do to maximize your profit, since now I'm at my mount inventory of 7 of 14, I'm only half full. My available weight is 133, so I probably could hold a little bit more. So sometimes I'll pick up maybe like the cheaper item, like this Odd Adventure. He's got 14 in stock. I'll take maybe 5 of those and see how much that weighs, and that has a higher required weight. So maybe I'll knock that down to 4 or 3. I basically want the required weight to be under available weight. That's what I'm checking there. I want to make sure that I have enough weight so it doesn't slow me down. Otherwise, it will slow your wagon down. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase just those 3 books. You don't have to do this. This is just basically maximizing the efficiency on getting stuff from one town to the other. I don't know what the price is, and I'm not going to waste an energy to check the market price in Heidel because I'm going to Heidel anyways. So more than likely, it's going to be above 100%. Maybe not, but it probably will. For most of the times that I've done this, just buying these extra items, and that's why I usually buy the cheaper item, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go and purchase those. Now I've got 10 of 14 items. So my available mount weight is actually 275. So I do have more. I probably could. Well, let's go ahead and grab a few more. I was looking at the wrong field. I was looking at my available weight, not my mounts. So 3. There we go, and that gets me pretty close to probably max. Oh, I still have a little bit more. All right, I'll purchase 1 more. Jeez. 1, and that's full because I've got my mount inventory is now 14 of 14. So that's pretty much it. Grab those extra items if you want. That's totally optional. I mean, really, the whole thing is optional, but go ahead and get out of that guy's window. Jump back on your wagon. See, we're going to turn around because Heidel's the other direction. What I usually like to do is go ahead and just set your waypoint to the trade manager in Heidel or wherever you're going and hit your T button and let it just auto run. The thing you could do if you auto run, it is a little bit slower. So sometimes it's better to go ahead and actually just move it yourself. One thing you'll notice while you're driving your wagon on these trade runs is you're going to get attacked by bandits, or the bandits will pop out. the bandits, for the most part, when you're on a wagon, they're going to get one shot off on you and really not do anything. The things to keep in mind while you're on your wagon is you have the bars down here, one of which is basically the health or, the strength. It says durability of the mounts and the wagon. So when I get hit, I'm going to get hit here in a second by these road bandits. I think it's right as soon as I hit after this fork, they're going to pop out and shoot me. You'll notice that durability go down a little bit. The other thing is lifespan. All wagons and boats have a lifespan. There's no way to repair. There's no way to get that lifespan back. Eventually, that wagon will be non-functioning. It won't work anymore. So it is a finite item. It's not going to last forever. But that's the good thing about leveling your horses up at the same time. Those horses, you could just pull them off and put them on a new wagon that you buy, either a farm wagon or one of the other wagons, and you're ready to go. And you've got, your new mounts on there. The other thing you could check out while you're driving that I usually like to check out is you could actually check out your, oh, oops. I accidentally unclicked. Let me get restarted here. Sorry about that. You can click the information for the mount, right? And I think my auto key is set to P. I don't know if that's the default. But check the mount information. And this will tell you what level your horses are that are pulling the mount. I've got a level, that tier 2 is a level 8. The tier 1 is level 18. And it shows you their XP going up as you're making your trade runs. So while you're making your trade runs, you're leveling these horses up at the same time. So if you can afford it, get one that can hold 4 horses. If you don't, if you're not too worried about money, get one that can hold 4 horses. You can level up 4 horses at the same time, which also in turn can make you money. Because the higher level your horse, even a tier 1, tier 2 and above horses are going to go for a lot more than a level 1 or level 2. If you're into, basically breeding and selling horses, that's another great thing to do with kind of in conjunction. It's a good synergy that works with making trade runs. I didn't notice the bandits hit me. It doesn't look like they did. So anyways, sometimes they hit you, sometimes they don't. For the most part, it's really nothing to worry about. I go AFK a lot of times when I will do that. Even worrying about other players hitting you in the, because you're in a combat zone, other players can hit you. Keep in mind that the further you travel, also, Heidel to Velia is not a very far trade route. The further that you travel also affects the amount of money that you make. So if you really want to maximize profit, if you really want to maximize the amount of money that you're making with these trade runs, you want to go ahead and go to, further distances from Calpheon to Medea or, something else like that. When you're getting started, though, you're not going to be able to pick up a lot of items in the higher level areas like Medea and Calpheon because they have a much higher trade requirement to pick those items up. So I made it to the trade manager. I'm at the trade manager in Heidel. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to hit trade. And then all of my items that I own on my horse, on my wagons right now, it's going to show up on the right-hand side. I'm going to hit sell all. And actually, I can scroll down here and see how much those books are going for. So it's a little 8% profit. Not bad. Not great. Sell all of it. All gone. Made some XP. Made some money. And I only burned basically 1 energy doing that the entire time. Now, basic concept of this is I'm going to pick up items here in Heidel and transport them somewhere else and just rinse and repeat and basically just make loops. Like I said, I don't trade a ton. I've got my trading skill to, what do I got my trading skill? Apprentice 6. So I haven't done a ton of it, but it is a good thing to do when you're waiting for energy to come back, when you're not cooking or fishing or whatever. Fishing is another great thing that I like to do when I'm not cooking. That's when I've got skilled 4 on fishing. But anything you could do to make money in the meantime, going out and questing, doing anything like that is going to be a great way to kind of fill the time, fill the gaps in between, doing whatever else you want to do. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, post in the comments below if you have any questions or comments about this video. I tried to make it really easy, and like I said, I'm not a master at doing these trade runs, but I thought I'd make a simple guide for everybody, hopefully that helps them kind of get started and gives them the basics on how to find out, what to pick up. Because I know when I got started in trying to do the trade runs, it was a little bit of a learning curve to figure out where everything was, to figure out how to connect the horses and do all that. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Have a good one.